Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes. Studio audience, y'all just really make it do what it do. Woo! Yes, sir. So, guys, y'all hear the laughing. I got my homie, my friend. I'm not one of them everybody is my friend type people, and they know it because if they try to say somebody's my friend that ain't, I'll be like, I don't throw that word around like that. This is my friend for real. Pod homie, pod crew. We got Autumn in the virtual building.
What up? Ooh, studio audience. Yes, give me all of the love. Yes, gas me up.
You ain't been here in a minute, so they're happy to see you. Yes.
Ooh, that's Autumn. Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, okay, we know her. She ain't new. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes. So, y'all.
Them niggas weren't around last time I was on the show.
No.
They fresh.
Yeah, because you know how in life you progress. And
absolutely.
You just gotta start somewhere. Started from the bottom. Now we hear you. Feel
period.
Me. So as I've continued to grow, I have an audience, and they're here every episode faithfully. Now, every now and then, they act like they don't know what's going on, and like they're supposed to do. They act like they don't know what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it every now and then. But for the most part, they faithful. They love to see y'all here when y'all come. Thank you for this super duper last minute ask, y'all. I really asked her like a couple hours ago, hey, what you doing tonight? Like,
y'all know my ass don't be doing nothing.
So thank you. New listeners, thank you for coming through. New episodes drop every Thursday. I will have Autumn give all of her information at the end because you got to follow her because this is part of the podcast Happy Hour crew. And
why are you not following?
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, but facts. If you are a regular listener, every week in the episode,
let's be right as a people.
Yes. So, man, even though we talk literally every day, at the same time, I feel like I haven't really like talked to you. Like, we have our movie nights to like make sure we, be doing the friend stuff. Y'all, Autumn recently, come on, get ready, studio audience.
Come on, audience, what I do?
She recently became a homeowner.
Oh, that I did. Gas me up.
Yeah,
I did. I got the keys.
And also, yes. Yes, y'all. Autumn is a homeowner and in the middle of this crazy.
Yo,
what was that market like? Well, briefly, because you've never talked about it on here anyway.
So the housing market for the last couple of years has been trash. And when I say housing market, I mean to buy a house, not to sell because it's a seller's market, but to buy a house or even to rent. It's been very, very trash. And it literally took me 6 months from the time that I started looking and dozens of homes that I went to go see before I got a contract accepted. It's and the pricing. Like I say every time I talk about this, I say I got lucky. Y'all know the story. Y'all know the numbers. Y'all know how much lower it was than what I expected to pay for it.
Mhm.
But I just tell people, like, just hang in there. Like, your just the same thing that people were telling me. Your house is coming. Your house is
Mhm.
coming. But just the road to being able to be in a position to buy a house is the part that I'm always amazed at, because I just never thought I'd be able to do it, to be honest.
So what did you do to, like, share with them? Because obviously you've already told me,
Right.
but, like, what did you do to get ready for buying a house? Because buying a house is such a it's just one of them, like, okay, graduate from high school, get into your career, get
Mhm.
married, buy a house, like, that's that and not everybody does it right away. We all do stuff like that at different ages. So, like, what was your journey like when you decided originally, okay, I want to be a homeowner? Because I know it's been a goal of yours for a while.
Years, actually. And I mean, I went through phases, right? I went through the, you know, I'm really good with renting. Like, I have nothing against renting. Nothing. I know there's always like these renting versus ownership,
Hmm.
debates and shit. And it's just
Mhm.
real stupid to me, because depending on where you are in your life, one may be better than the other.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I can attest to that. Like, I'm a single person, just me. So I'm gonna have to do all the maintenance. I'm gonna have to do all the upkeep. I'm gonna have to be the one to make sure that the repairs are done. Like, all of that stuff. All of that stuff plays a part.
Mhm.
But my long term journey was realizing, the beginning of it was realizing that right then and there I wasn't ready to buy a house.
Mm.
And that was probably mentally a little bit, like, I probably just wasn't I just wasn't in the right mental space. I wasn't ready for that.
Mhm.
And also just because I had to get my credit and stuff together. Like, I didn't realize you don't realize how bad your credit is when you've kind of just like ignored it, and you didn't know, like, what credit really was, or what it meant, or how important it was.
Mm.
Like, you I grew up in a home where, like, my mom, she didn't really know shit about money.
Mhm.
Like, I'm realizing this as in my journey, because I'm
Mhm.
looking back on the things that she told me to do, and, like, my sister told me to do, and all of that shit was dead wrong. Like, all of that shit set me back
Mhm.
from buying a house for years and years, and I had to clean all of that up.
Mhm.
So it was tough. I mean, the easier parts was, like, I did the, like, self lender or self or whatever, and where you pay like $25 or $45 a month, and it goes into a little savings account, and it reports to your credit. It's like you're paying off something. And then
Mhm.
at the end, you get it all back with a little bit of interest on top. So you could do that. Like, I did that probably twice, I think, for like 2 years. And that really helped boost my credit score. I did like the Experian boost, where they count all of your bills and stuff that you pay. I started paying all of my little bills. Like, I finally just faced the music and got the credit report, and when I really looked at it, I was like, well, it don't look as bad as I thought. Like, the worst part of it is my student loans, which
Hmm.
that shit
Hmm.
ain't never
Hmm.
going nowhere.
Come on,
So, right.
Byron.
So, come
Come
on, my
on.
nigga. Like, what is we doing?
Mm.
But so I just started paying like the smaller bills off. Or I would call them and say, what do I need to do to get this off of my credit report? Not to say that it's paid, not just because you're gonna give me a settlement. No, what do I need to get this removed? Because you could pay it, but it's still gonna be there.
Mm.
People don't realize that. People do not realize that. Like, you could get a little settlement. You'll pay a third of what the bill was, and that's great. They're off your bag. They're not calling your phone anymore. But it's still a hit on your credit. You need to ask them what can you do to get it off of your credit report.
Mm.
And if they don't say nothing, shit, leave it there. Go to the next person. keep going until you see, people that are actually going to take it off and pay those first, because the less amount of negative hits on there is what makes your credit go up. All of them
Mhm.
don't have to be gone, but the more you can get off of there. So it was little stuff like that. It was literally like years of, one step forward, two steps back type
Mm.
of situations, to be honest. But, and that's like, that's like income wise.
Mhm.
But I kept working towards it. I would at least keep one thing. Like, I would at least keep doing the self lender, or when I got my first credit card. Like this time around, when I got, I say my first credit card, meaning the first credit card that I actually am using responsibly, because the credit cards that I had before when I was
Yeah.
in college, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about it. I was just getting a free T-shirt and they sent me a credit card in the
Mhm.
mail. So, just when I got that one, and I think it was like a $500 limit or something like that. And I used it the right way. Like, you know how people always be telling you, like, use
Mhm.
it, if you use it for gas and just pay it off. I was doing that. Next thing you know, they kept raising the limit, raising the limit, raising the limit. All of this stuff collectively was helping me. And then when I got the job, it was almost like I was preparing myself. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? It was
Mhm.
like, now just talking about it and thinking about, like, thinking back, it's almost like God was saying, I'm not even going to let you make the type of money that you want to make until you can manage what you're doing now. Like, I'm not going
Mm.
to let you, and not necessarily like I didn't deserve it or anything like that, but are you going to mess this up?
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So what are you going to
Yeah.
do? Like, start building it now. And I did. And when I started making more money, everything became a lot more easier. Like, that's how I was able to be approved for the house. It was just like,
Mm.
that was the very last step, needing to make more money than, I only needed to make a little bit more money than what I was making.
Mm.
And it all just kind of came together. But I just tell people, just, it's a long drawn out process, depending on where you are in the process or in your journey. But just trust the process. Trust the process. If this is something that you want to do, you can do it. Listen, if I did it, I know you hear people say that all the time. But if I did it, if I dug myself out of the credit hell of a hole that I was in, you can do it too.
And what I love about your house, because y'all, of course, I've been there. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
they were my first guests. The podcast happy hour were
There's.
my first out of town guests that
Mhm.
came, to the
Yep.
house.
And I'll be back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, what I love about your house is, even though it's just you and Peach is her cat, y'all. It's like, when all my kids are, out of the house and all that, it's like the perfect size of what I would want for me, because it's like you have your guest room, you have your studio, you have your
Yep.
room, and it doesn't feel like you're on, like it's too crowded or whatever. And so yeah, it's like the perfect size
And
to
let me
where it's
tell
not
you
too
something.
big, but
Right. And let me
yeah.
tell you something about that. So, a part of the journey for me was, I'm into like vision boards and like writing stuff down, what the
Mhm.
kids say, manifesting, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, it was what the law of attraction, the secret, whatever it is you want to call it. I'm into all of that stuff, right? Like, I am the type of person that I know when I write it down, when I write things down, it makes more sense. That's why I have so
Mm.
many notebooks, right? When I write things down, it makes more sense. I'm able to look at it. It's like just the ink on the paper, or pencil on the paper. It resonates a little bit better with me. And
Mhm.
it's my way of saying, this is what I want to do, or this is how this is going to happen. So
Mhm.
I can remember talking to a good friend of mine, and this was probably a couple of years ago, like before this time when I was actually like approved for the house and all that. And I was telling her like, yeah, remember when I was living in the other place before I moved to the last place, the other
Yeah,
place that had the
yeah,
damn squirrels up in the roof, that place.
yeah.
And I was thinking about, getting a house then. And she was like, well, like, what are some of the features or whatever that you would want in your house? And I'm like, well, first and foremost, it has to have my tub. That was the biggest thing. Like, it has to have my garden tub. I don't care what else. It has that, like, it's a deal breaker or whatever. And she was just like, well, make sure you start just write it down. Like, write down the things that you want. And then when I started talking to my realtor, she said the same thing. She said, "What are the things that you absolutely cannot live without? The things that you would like to have, and the things that would be cool to have, but you can live without." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
she had me, and I did that. And every time I think about it, Tamara, I get chills because out of all those houses and all those weekends and all the gas I spent and all the hours I spent looking through these
Mhm.
houses and all of the hopeful, how many times I came to the
Mhm.
group chat and I was like, oh my God, I love this house. This house is so cute. Oh my God. Out of doing all of that, this house checked every single box. And I
Mm.
go over it in my head all the time because I can't believe it. Like, the
Mm.
last time I went, I was on Tagged, and I was talking to this young lady on Tagged about it, and I literally like got emotional because it was the first time that I realized that I got every single all the way down to the price.
Mm.
Literally, it was under the initial price that I was looking for, that I said I would probably be able to afford.
Mm.
It brings me chills. Tamara, everything from, I mean, when I was looking at 4-bedroom houses, I thought they were, cute and cool. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of other things that I could do with this room. That's not what I originally wrote down, though. I said all I needed was 3 bedrooms because
Mhm.
that's all I needed. Like, I didn't, it wasn't a need, but it was cool. It would have been cool to have, but that's
Right.
not anything that I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the backyard with the fence, which was a
Mhm.
big deal, right? Which was a big
Yeah.
deal for me. Like, every single thing, I got it. And I'm grateful.
Mm.
I can't even express how grateful I am that I ended up with every single thing in this house that I asked for.
Man, it's so funny because I am a firm believer that everything's happened exactly when it's supposed to happen, exactly how it's supposed to happen. Even the random things like you being on this episode today talking about this, because I didn't have, like I said, an agenda or anything like that, but like with me being and me having watched you, like you said, on this journey, and you tell us about this house and you send us this video and show us this picture and all that stuff and just everything that you went through. And it's actually kind of encouraging to me right now because, as you and my listeners know, I've been in this state of transition. And even with this subcontracting job that I'm starting, it's like I knew I was trying to figure out how to have something steady in addition to the company. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because one, people flake or whatever, or people pay you slowly or whatever it is, or people just don't call you. It's just the ebbs and flows of business. And it's not anything at all. I'm quitting, but I was getting to this point where I was like, bruh, I can't keep the struggle can't be like this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I knew I didn't want to go back to a 9 to 5 because then that's going to take 40 plus hours of my week. And if I'm honest, I don't have 40 plus hours to give to somebody else's dream when I'm still trying to build mine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so when this subcontracting thing came, it's like everything that I would want, and then even things I didn't even consider because it's something I did before, but like a better version of it because they've
Mhm.
updated some stuff and all this stuff. And then now I'm like, okay, so then once we have stuff steady, I should be moving and all that. And I remember when I was trying to find places before, nothing would work out, which in hindsight, it's good because
Yep.
I wouldn't have been able to head on the path that I'm on now, that I know this is where I was supposed to be. Like, I thank God for my mom because my mom, she'll ask me questions just to whatever, but for the most part, she knows that I know what I need to do if I want to leave here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Right,
I
right.
can't be here forever. But she also isn't really on no, you need to hurry up and get out by this date type thing. Because one thing I appreciate about my mom, even more right now, is that, she's a believer too. And she understands a lot of stuff like it's important to me to make sure I'm doing what I believe the Lord is leading me to do. And also knowing that just because the journey looks different than I thought it was going to be September 21st when it was the last day at my previous employer doesn't mean that this isn't the journey that it was supposed to be. Because honestly, I've been in like CEO boot camp for the past 9 months when I really think about it. And it makes me think about when you were talking about God preparing you, so you had to shift your mind and all these things to become the kind of person who was going to wisely steward the
Yep.
income, the house, and everything you have right now, right? And
Yep.
so when I'm always praying about, give me this, God, give me that, one of the things that I have prayed is prepare me to be the kind of person who's going to, because if he had me have all these clients come and then I don't even know how to like manage my time
Mhm.
or I don't know, like this intake form that I finally got situated on Adobe, spent hours last night thinking I was updating it, saving it along the way for it to just not be right. So we won't even get into how I cried myself to sleep last night about that. I was so
Oh, that
mad.
sounds like the worst.
It was, but now that things are starting to pop, now I am so much more ready than I was September 21st, you know what I'm saying? And so it's kind and it's in the right circumstances for me to
Mhm.
be able to, because the job that I'm doing, I'm going to be coaching. I'm just basically coaching clients. It's just my coaching clients are coming from a specific funnel or
Right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be random. It's going to be all the same population of people in a sense. So it actually makes it a little easier on me because I don't really have to, like, I'm not going to market that service anymore because it'll just be funneled to me,
Right.
for
You
right
already
now or
have it,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I can like more deeply invest in the other areas, you know what I'm saying, and like market that a little better than, yeah. So it's crazy because I'm like, oh yeah, she did buy a house. Let's talk about that. But
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, I mean, I just every time I talk about it, like I see or I think of more things that
mm,
really just prepared
mhm,
me for this moment. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, for let's see, I've been in this house what 6 months now, I think. Um I hadn't gotten emotional about it.
mm,
You know how people are always like, "Oh, I walked around the house and cried," and
mhm,
I had zero emotion about it. Like every once in a while, I would pull into the subdivision, and like when you pull in at a certain time of night, the like right when the sun is going down, it's so pretty. There's so many like color. I've never seen so many colors in the sky, right? It's
mhm.
just so pretty. And I get a little emotional about that, but I would never cry. Or when I would get up in the morning and sit out in the backyard before like the trees actually started to like murder me with pollen, I would be emotional about that, like, just take a deep breath and be like, "Oh my god, I'm just so grateful for this." But I never just, like it never all, like, added up. And it's just
Mm.
like, I sit there and I look, and like I said, I was talking to the young lady on tag, and I got really emotional. I couldn't believe, like, I was crying about it. I'm like, girl, I'm like, I really did this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it's not even like, oh my, I got this beautiful house. It's not even that. It's like, bitch, do you see what you just did? Did you see that you did what you didn't initially, what you didn't think that you could do?
Mm. Mm.
Like, are you feeling that yet?
Mm.
Because you did the same thing with the job. Never thought you'd be making that type of money, but
Mm.
here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So you did it with the house, so you know what you're gonna do it with next. And what I've already, like, I ain't got exclusive. Where the motherfucking shit at? I ain't even told nobody this, but I've started researching opening my fucking coffee shop because that shit is
Mm.
gonna happen.
Yes.
It's going to
Yes.
happen. That's the
Yes.
next step. Like, I can't see any other step. That's the
Mm.
next step.
Mm. I love it because one thing I know about you is the mindset that you have to be a business owner because n-
And
woo,
Tamara, and listen,
you have it. You
I
have it.
but it's one of those things that I just never wanted to do. I
Mm.
don't know if it was, I don't know if it is just, I don't want the responsibility of it all, or you know what I mean? Just, it's just like, how I always say, I never really want to be like a operations manager or a project manager or anything like that, because I manage processes very well. Anything that has to do with anything outside of humans, I manage that shit. You could give me anything and I can manage it. But people, I don't be wanting to fool with them like that. And people
Mm.
tell me all the time, you would be a great manager. Like, you would be a great supervisor. They tell me this shit all the time. I mean, I'm gonna have to do it for the coffee shop. I'm gonna have to do it, one way or another in the coffee shop, but it's gonna be in a setting that I want to do it in.
And that's the thing, that's the beautiful thing when you get to certain places in life, it's kind of like you can pick to do like in all things there's going to be something that's not our favorite thing, right? So like as a content creator, my least favorite thing is scheduling stuff and promoting on social media.
Ooh,
I
it's the
don't mind
worst.
creating the stuff that needs to get out there, but actually having to schedule and do all that, I can't stand that.
I don't even
And
do it no more.
so
I'm the worst. I don't even do it no more. I let it go straight out from Pod Page, and then and then every day I just retweet it. Like, I am
you
so
know,
over it.
I've been seeing how you've been doing
Because
that.
Pod Page, I pay for convenience. Okay, Pod Page lets you, like, it'll do it for Facebook, your Facebook page,
Hmm.
and Twitter. It don't do it for Instagram though. Like, nothing does it for Instagram. But yeah,
Instagram get on
it'll
my nerves.
they so whack. It pushes it right out. Like, soon as you upload it, it pushes it out.
Mm, okay, that's interesting. But
Yeah.
but once you get to certain levels, or I won't even say levels, just phases or parts in your journey, you can kind of decide, you know what, I like doing this, but I don't like doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so like you doing what you don't like doing in the setting that you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're gonna have to manage people, but it's gonna be you pursuing your dream. So it's just gonna be a sacrifice that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to make. But I'm excited because you've been talking about that for a while, but also I can just imagine what the vibe is gonna be like in that place just because of the like me, it's one thing to video chat with you or talk to you on the phone, even though we don't really talk, we more will have a video call, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, if we're
Mhm.
gonna not just, send stuff to the group chat. So but like me being in your house and seeing how much you want people to, y'all, let me tell you about these cookies that she got, right?
Dog,
Because
them cookies can go to
Autumn is the
hell, I'm
type of
telling you.
person who's like, when you come over, which I'm like this too, you want people to have a good experience, enjoy themselves,
Yeah, I'm big on
there
it.
to be enough food and all that. But y'all, oh man, I miss these cookies.
Yo,
These store
listen.
brand cookies, that is what is so mind blowing to me. Store
Mhm.
Publix, right?
Publix, yep.
Yes.
Publix chocolate chip, and what was the other one? Chocolate and what?
Pecans, chocolate chip pecans.
Yeah,
Both of
yeah.
them was fire. Both of them was equally fire. Now, pecan was my favorite just because I like stuff that had pause, but I like stuff that has
Right.
nuts in it. You know what I'm saying? But maybe
It's
no
just it
pause,
had
but
like
also
it was like the chocolate, or it was like something in the dough was just it gave it that like that.
and they were soft because
Yes.
even like the next day, and you know what I'm saying? You know, when you open something and then the next day it ain't the
No.
same softness that it was the day before. No, they
You could give them cookies about
consistently.
you could give them cookies about 4 days before they
Mm,
actually start tasting yucky. Like, you
mm.
can give them about 4 days. I have eaten those cookies until I was just sick and fucking tired of them. Like, I probably won't have them again for months because I ate them every time I went to Publix. I had to get some of them cookies. That's how good they
I
are.
wish we don't even have a Publix here at all. So I don't, and I know for a fact that none of the stores I shop at, they store cookies is not like that. That's why my mind was so
Girl,
blown because that ain't the life that I'm living here. But
girl.
so I can only imagine what the vibe is going to be like there. Now, let's talk about tagged real quick because
Let's
you
talk
brought it,
about it.
you mentioned it. I kind of refuse. Y'all know how I am when I'm
I'm the same
like
way. I'm the same way. You see,
faces.
I hardly ever click on y'all TikTok things
Yeah, I
unless
know.
unless they're visible. Like, if it's the visible one that's in there,
Yep,
if it's gonna take me to
yep,
TikTok,
yep.
I'd be like, I don't even, because I just don't even want to go down that slope. So I
I
get it.
feel you. Yeah, so that's how I am with spaces, which I almost accidentally went in somebody's space. Now I'm glad that Spaces on Twitter has like a waiting room that you like go in first, and then
Mhm.
it says,
Mhm.
"Do you want to listen?" So then I was able to get out of there, especially when
Spaces are all right. I mean,
I
they all
don't.
right.
I don't. It's just one of them things where I'm just like, no, I refuse to do it. I don't even know why because it's no, but I don't actually. I do know why because I don't. What's that other app that was out
Oh,
before?
Clubhouse.
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
Clubhouse. I That's another one that
It
I'm.
was it was very mid to me. It
Uh,
was
yeah.
very Reggie to me. Like, I just
And maybe
it's
that's why because I Clubhouse was first, and so it's all the same to me, even though it would be different
it is
because
the
it.
same.
But yeah, Tagged is another one that I'm just like it seems like TikTok, which I like TikTok, but I'm kind of starting to I could tell a difference in I don't care about it as much as I did at one point. I don't really know why.
And honestly, I don't think it's anything like TikTok aside from it having that live feature. Because on tagged, you can't you it's not you're not posting, you can't post videos, you can't do all that stuff on tag.
Oh, okay. So talk to the people about Tag cuz I okay.
Okay, so so brief history of tag, because I'm actually a tagged OG. Okay, I'm
Mm,
actually a tagged OG that just came back to the tag circle. So tagged is, or tagged was, a social networking site. Tagged
mm,
was, to me, I always explain it this way: a cross between MySpace and Black Planet. It was
okay.
like whoever each one of those places didn't get, they all went to tag. It's like that. It's like kind of like a catch all,
I kind
right?
of miss MySpace sometimes
And
every
and
now and then.
right, and it was just like that. It was, and even to this day, when you log into the website, it still looks the same. You got the
Mm,
top friends. I think you can still do backgrounds and shit on there. Like it's literally the same. Okay, so that's what it was. It had a it used to have a what you call it, like a timeline where you could post random stuff on there. They just took that away. But so anyways, then like so that's what it was when I was on it. Then like right before I got off of it, there's like this media group or whatever you want to call them called Meet Me. And so you'll see Meet Me on like Plenty of Fish, Black, like they're on World Star now, like all of the dating apps. I don't know if it's on Tinder. I don't know. But all of the dating apps mostly have this Meet Me feature. So Tag got Meet Me, and Tagged was one of the first ones that got the Meet Me feature. And so then it started turning into more of a dating site, right? That's where all my hobo chronicles come from. Niggas from Tag.
Oh, like, okay.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yes, but that was way back then. That was like 2000. I don't know. It was like 9, 8, something like that. Like 2004, 5. It was a long. It was literally when MySpace and Black Planet was out. So whenever that was out, and before Facebook.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So boom. Fast forward. I'm on Twitter, and I see one of our fellow podcasts. I can't even think of the girl name right now. Tweet something about Tag, and I was like, she said something about going live on Tag. And I'm like, what do you mean going live on Tag? I'm like, Tag. First of all, Tag is still a thing. Like it's still around. She's like, yeah, girl, they got a live feature on their app. Like you can get on there. She's like, I get second. That's like a second form of income for me. I was like, word? Let me check this shit out. So I downloaded the app, and it looks just like any other dating app. When you first download it, you have the people in your area you are supposed to be quote unquote compatible with. It'll show you who's online. There's a premium feature that you can see who all checked your profile. Again, they used to have the little timeline. They don't have that anymore. They just took it off maybe 6 months to a year ago. So the only way that you can communicate with people, again, on your profile, you can only put regular pictures. You can't post any videos, anything like that. And the only way that you can communicate with people is via DM or this live feature that they have now. So, and that's what kind of reminds you of TikTok. Except I think on TikTok, you have to have like a certain amount of followers before you're able to go live.
Yeah, you gotta have like 1,000 followers.
Nah, player. Not on here. You ain't got to have 0 followers or nothing. You just get on this ghetto ass app and you hit go live, and that's it. And it's just like any other community. You have to network. You have to, if you're new on there, you have to go in other people's lives. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to go in and you have to talk to them and you have to engage with them. Or you go in these like top badge lives, or these people who have all these followers or who have made all this money, have all these millions of diamonds or whatever that they've converted for cash. You go in there and just kind of sit and speak, be courteous. When you go into their room, please speak to them, because sometimes Tag be all messed up and you can't see who's coming in the room or whatever have you. So go in, speak, and if there are people that you want to talk to on a daily basis, you go and talk to them on a daily basis, and the same thing will happen for you. It's just like podcasting. Just push the button and go, right? So it's very easy for me to do something like this, especially during the day, because I'm working from home. So I can kind of, it's not like I'm like, constantly like looking at something at work. I can do both of these things. And it's almost like, it's like they're keeping me company because I work from home. I'm here by myself. You know what I'm saying? So I get on there, I play music, I, giggle, he. Every once in a while, somebody get cussed out. I get trolled. I get all types of stuff. But in the meantime, I'm making a little bit of money on the side, and I'm starting to gain a little bit of traction. It's a lot of weirdos on there. I tell people off bat, I'm not meeting any of y'all niggas. Like, I mean, and that's not to say that I haven't met anybody, but I'm not here to meet you niggas. Like, I'm not
Right.
doing that. I have heard so many bad stories. I have been caught up in stories from people with tag, and I'm just here to stream. And that's just really it. That's just what I tell them. I'm just here to stream. Like, some days, sometimes I have my little ratchet days when I'm on there. You know what I'm saying? Other days I have my, I have to put my kente hat on. And other days I'm just singing, like, cause you know why? Cause I'm the damn karaoke champ.
That
So I had to
part.
tell people that I'm the karaoke champ. I mean, and I was supposed to have a weekly thing called Autonomously Speaking that would kind of grasp people's interest and route them to the podcast. And I haven't been consistent with that, but I'm getting listens on the podcast because when people come in and they ought to, if they go to my profile, they ask about it. They always ask about it. Oh, what's your podcast about? So I know that I've gotten a significant amount of listeners from Tag, which was my whole purpose anyway. Like, I
And
didn't
they've
even really
come
go
to
there to
our,
make money. Yes, they come
yeah.
to podcast happy hour and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
So it's fun. I mean,
Okay.
it's
Tagged
fun.
is
Again,
not what
it's
I
not
thought it
for
was.
everybody. It's not for everybody. It can be very, 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 very ratchet. Like, it can be like, no, like like and the thing about it is, like, they have this whole thing. Every time you go live, you have to say, I'm not gonna be nude. There's not gonna be any minors in my thing. I'm not gonna have any illegal activity. I'm not gonna be doing. And there are people on there that do all of this stuff all the time. Sometimes they get away with it. Sometimes they get banned. But they're literally, you click on the wrong live and somebody is in there getting head. Or
Oh, okay.
like, I'm just this is what I'm saying. Like, it can be very, very. A lot of times they'll warn you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll say something on the description that'll make you say, "Okay, I'm not gonna click on that live." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not. But and then there are people that come to your live and solicit you, or they in your inbox and they're soliciting you, like, $60 if you send me some pictures of you in pantyhose. Like, I mean, it's just, it could be a very wild place. I have well over 100 DMs right now because I don't check them. I just every once in a while I say I have time and I just feel like cussing somebody out because that's what's gonna happen. I go through my DMs, but aside from that, like, I mean, so yeah, it could be a very ratchet place, but I get more positive than I get negative on there. And it's funny, you've seen some of the videos.
Okay, so I guess it's a little bit different than I thought. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go on there because it's gonna feel
I
like
get
a
it.
whole nother thing. But who knows though? Because there's some stuff that I don't do. Like, I honestly would do. There's so much TikTok content that I would create because I like TikTok because I like creating crazy videos or creative
Mhm.
videos or just coming up with an idea and I'm like, "Ooh, I want to do this anyway." But there's certain things I'm not going to do until I move just because I don't really want to be filming a bunch of my mom's house, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So and that may be why I'm like, with TikTok, because it's like, man, there's stuff that I want to do that's just get ready with me type stuff or skincare stuff or hair
Mhm.
stuff or just, but not like super dragging it out because with stuff like that, I'm like, I just want to do what I want to do in that moment, and I don't really want to get stuck in expected to do this, that, and the other, or whatever.
And
But
my thing is, because I've been always been saying that if I do anything, so okay, well, first of all, with Tagged, see, the thing I really like about Tagged is I don't have to create any content. Right, I don't have
hmm
to create any content. I put up a profile picture right now. I kind of got a little bit of a thirst trap up there. I'm not gonna lie. I put up a little, a picture, my profile picture. I have my profile written out the way that I want it written out, and I just hit the live button. It's very, very easy. It's easy. You can tell people about whatever it is you got going on. When I tell you everybody is selling something from weed to whatever. Like everybody is selling something. Like it's just one of those types of places. It's almost like a swap meet. I don't know, but I keep telling myself that Instagram, I am going to get better at developing my Instagram, but I'm such a perfectionist. And when I start to do something and it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, I get discouraged. And then I leave it alone, and then I'll come back to it, because one of the ideas that I was supposed to be having was my coffee mug of the day. So now I'm trying to figure out how to bring that, how to cultivate that, because I think I want to get one of those boxes where you put the product in, and you take it, and it just looks really clean in the back, and do it that way. Like, just do my, coffee mugs of the day, where I got it from, or why is this one of my favorites, or whatever. But it has to be perfect. And so I feel like I have to have the time and the focus. Like, I have to be able to really focus to do something like that. So that's a reason why you really don't see me posting a whole lot on like Instagram and stuff like that. Right now I'm just doing very easy click and go type of maintaining right now when it comes to content.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to think of where I want to go first, because if you've never listened to Autumn's show, she has a segment that is everybody's favorite segment of her show. It's also what she brings to Podcast Happy Hour every month, which is the Shut the Fuck Up Award. But I actually think I want to end the show with that, which is the complete opposite of the way she does her show, because she starts with it, but I just think it'll be a great way to end the show. So before we get into the Shut the Fuck Up board, though, I just wanted to let everybody know, which actually, if you've been listening, her and I and Chris did a whole extravaganza
Sure did.
where, because there's no way I was going to, first of all, I wouldn't do that anyway, because that's her thing. So that's number one. But number two, when I decided that I wanted to have her on to do that type of show, you have to include Chris, just because of the way her show is set up, and shout out to her. Right. But before we get into that, speaking of Chris, shout out to Jay, shout out to Audrey. We kind of talked a little bit about the retreat. So I did the whole breakdown, which still, every time I think about the fact that we was literally, first of all, for me, this was my first kid-free vacation ever. Second of all, people are mind blown that I actually didn't work for a week while I was there. Did not touch I didn't even bring my computer. And the one time I checked my email and it made me mad, either you or Audrey or both of y'all hopped on my neck and was like, I thought you weren't going to work on this trip. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because you were like, because your whole everything just changed, because it really.
Your whole situation changed.
Yeah,
no, we're not doing that right now.
Yeah, so I didn't work the whole time, and part of the time stayed at Autumn's house, and then the other time stayed at the cabin. And what I love about the trip is that it wasn't this rushed thing. Like, we got there and we did everything kind of like when we felt like doing it, and then didn't do anything or just whatever. And I loved that. Like,
same.
I'm not really we gotta plan every moment and go 50,000
I hate
places.
that.
Because then I need a vacation from the vacation.
Like, you have to have like 2 more days off of work after that,
just to
after
like
you get
debrief,
home.
So, and I think I might have the rest of them on there and ask them each this question too. Because I've been reflecting a lot lately, because it's about this time 2 years ago was when we started really, really coming together. Like, we
Yep.
What fun fact, y'all, which I kind of forgot about until you and Chris and I were talking, is that we didn't start off as a five of us. Like, that's not how it started off. How it
Nope.
started off was like two separate things. Somehow me and Autumn were a part of both of the
Right.
things. So there was like me, Autumn, Audrey, and Chris. It started with this fake ice cream.
Right. Fake ass ice
I
cream.
hope Audrey hears that too. But it started with this whole ice cream thing on Twitter, right?
Right.
And so then we just kept going, kept going. Now we all each already listened to each other's shows and all this stuff, so it's not like we were strangers. So there was that. But then there was also me, Autumn, and Jay
Hmm.
having, was it Google Duo?
I think it was Duo. I think it was Duo.
Something. It wasn't WhatsApp yet.
Nope.
So then it'd be me, Autumn, and Jay having just, I mean, we'd get together and do shots or just
Yep.
talk or whatever. And then once Chris started being consistent with the Netflix nights, then
Yep.
that's when we all came together and we've been rocking ever since. And so, because it was about that time, because my Snapchat memories or just my phone will make different, oh, over
Little
the years,
collages.
yeah,
Yeah.
which didn't nobody ask for that, but okay.
Right.
So it got me thinking, like, dang, it was really 2 years ago. Also, that we were still in the pandemic 2 years ago. So there's that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Then we just had our retreat that we talked about. Like, I don't know if we were serious at first. I think it was kind of just, oh, this will be dope if we did this. And then next thing you know, we're planning it and looking stuff up and picking dates and all this stuff. And so I say all that to say I'm hella reflective right now. And so podcast happy hour retreat, we just had that. What was your favorite part of that week that we got to be together in person and it be literally no different than what we
Right.
do on video calls?
I mean, I think that because again, like I think about podcast happy hour and I think about how I came up with this idea, this crazy ass idea, and we decided to go ahead and do it. Right? Y'all was
Right.
like, all right, or y'all was like, all right, we fucking with it. We gonna do this podcast happy hour. All right, we gonna do this.
Because let me
And
pause you real quick. If y'all only understood how many ideas that Autumn be coming up with that y'all never see,
never see, never
that's
see.
the thing, is that this woman does
Right.
not run out of ideas. She always got an idea for something.
And so I'm like, so then, we're thinking about, I think we were just, talking about, man, we need to get away. We need, like, the pandemic was whooping our ass. We like, oh
Hmm.
God, we just need to. And I'm like, I always wanted to do a cabin trip. Like, ever since I've been in Georgia, I've been talking about wanting to go to the mountains. Like,
Mm.
everybody goes to the mountains, but it's like such this, like, a secret thing. Like, nobody is giving me the rundown of, you know, how was it? Like, where did y'all go? Like, nobody, I could not find anybody to really talk to me about it. And so, but I brought it to y'all, and I'm like, we should do this. And then me and Jay started looking, into the cabins and looking at them. And not gonna lie, we both, even Jay was like, when she got to Atlanta, she was like, well, what if it don't look like what it looked
Hey,
like in
I
the
had that
pictures?
thought too. I ain't
Right?
even gonna lie. Because you hear
I
horror
think we all
stories.
did. Yeah, we
Yeah.
all did. So we didn't know what to expect. I think, PJ, be quiet. I think I'm still like, I haven't even posted the pictures. I'm still like, I still can't believe it. because I didn't think, I just kept saying, man, I just pray nothing happens that somebody can't make it. Like I'm like I'm gonna be so sad. Like if somebody can't make it, like we have to like have a plan A, B, and C. Like we have to. I would be talking to Jay all the time. Like, bro, we have to have a plan A, B, and C. Like we have to make sure that everybody gets there. We have to. Like we have to do this. And for a long time, I honestly did not think it was going to happen. And then finally, I was like, okay, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do this. My favorite part. Probably recording live. Like that was hella fun. Like I've never like I have all this fucking equipment for what? Right? For podcast happy hour to finally get together. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that part was dope. And also when we was in the damn jacuzzi, because that shit was hilarious. Like when I done failed in the damn jacuzzi and the phone fell in the jacuzzi and it was just all bad. Like it was just crazy. That was so much fun. But but the whole trip was so dope. Like all the way down to not knowing if we was gonna even live or die. Cause baby, I was pushing that Chrysler 200 up that motherfucking mountain in the wood through them, like on them one way, them one car back road, like yo, going up straight up a mountain. Like I was so scared. Like I was just
Thinking
like,
we was
oh
gonna
my
have to ration
God.
the snacks and the
right, we get up there and there's no, I'm like, no. And just like Tamara said, like she told, I'm like, I cannot have this go down like this. Like I know we'll survive the night without like a significant amount of food. Like I know we have snacks, we have I know, but I'm like, we cannot do this. Whatever it is, I gotta pay for us to get whatever it is we gonna eat, even if it's trash. Like we need to get something up here to eat. I just wanted it to go right. I wanted it to be as perfect as it could possibly be. And I wanted, because we all needed it.
Whew, girl.
Every single one of us needed every single moment that we had together during that trip. We needed every single moment of it. And I'm so grateful that we were able to do that.
And when I think about even the days leading up to it, as we get closer and just all the foolishness that was going on, it's kind of like to just be away and just for me, like not even have to drive, you know what I'm saying? Like just ride around wherever, wherever we went, to not have to be responsible for everything, because running a business is amazing, but at the same time it's just me, so everything is on me. Like it's crazy. I was finally getting to edit and actually update the Adobe document that's like 15-page assessment that I thought was done last night. And so I'm sitting here doing it, and the girls are watching me. And Kayliana was like, you created that whole thing by yourself? And I was like, yeah, I've created everything by myself. And she was like, so all that, because she was looking at the beginning paragraph or whatever, she was like, all that just came out of your mind. I was
so
like,
crazy.
right. And I'm like, yeah, like that's why you'll see me sitting here for hours and hours and hours. But the thing about it is, and then when a document is complete, I don't have to complete another one because it's a template for me to be able to use over and over and again for each client. And she was like, wow, I didn't know all that. So I say all that to say, to be somewhere where I literally didn't have to do anything except make sure, like, take shower, you know what I'm saying? Just literally only worry about me and no kids. And I didn't even have to cook. Like even the night that we did cook, I didn't have to really do anything. And I needed that. When I tell you I needed that, I needed to just have fun. man, watching back podcast happy hour, I was really it's
Oh
hilarious.
man,
It was
gone. It
hilarious,
was so
but
funny.
it was fun. Because that's how we're all who we are, you know what I'm saying, behind five screens, but it's just different when we're all there. Yeah,
And there was
so
no like interruption. It just was what it
mm-mm,
was. It was literally like we were all just old friends getting together for the
mhm,
first time in a long time. That's what it felt like. It felt
yep,
like we had done it before.
yep.
Somebody was saying this feels like deja vu. Was it Audrey? It's like
I
this
think it
feels like deja
was.
vu.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't feel like when me and Chris were in the airport and where she calling me, she like, "Where you at?" And we're trying to. When I hugged her, even though this is literally the first time I've ever laid eyes on her in person, it just felt like, "Oh, I ain't seen you," like you
In a
said, in
while,
a
right.
while. Not this is literally my first time ever seeing you in person, and me
Hmm.
meeting all four of y'all all at once. And I thought I was gonna have anxiety just because of how I am with like new people and whatever, but it just after 2 years, it ain't new. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
we're in person. Man, just all the even the white dude, the clerks at the liquor store we went to, just all
Yep.
the little silly stuff to where it's just when my hoodie robe showed up and we turning
Yes.
up for the
Yes.
FedEx or Amazon or whatever, and he was just kind of looking like,
He was
"What
like,
is happening?
okay, right.
Y'all real happy? Yes, because you're on time,
Ah,
sir." You know what I'm saying? Just
it was
it
fun.
was great.
It was the most like it was such a highlight. Like
Hmm.
again, one way or another, we all needed that trip, even if it was just to reflect or to like to if it was just to like reflect on our friendship.
Mm,
You know what I
yep.
mean? Like to like just seeing how like we're all really this damn goofy. Like we
Yeah.
really are. Like I bust out laughing every once in a while when I think about Jay ass walking around with that damn cigarette hanging out her mouth, that candy cigarette hanging out her mouth,
Try to light the fire, looking like
trying to light
somebody's
the fire.
uncle under
Right.
the hood of the car.
Exactly what she looked like. That's exactly
Mhm.
what she looked like. Like it's just it'll we did it. Like we really did that.
Mm.
And had a good time and we had some good snacks and we had good food. Everything was perfect.
Mhm. Literally. Even
Everything was
yeah,
perfect.
everything was perfect. Yeah.
Even when it wasn't, it was still it was
Mhm.
still perfect. Like everything was great.
And
And I'm
FYI,
so glad.
y'all, the cabin pictures didn't do the cabin justice because it
No.
actually looked way better than the pictures. They actually need to hire a better photographer or
Yes.
something because
They put them filters on there to make it look like mystic or whatever. And it just and that's what made us skeptical about thinking about how it wasn't gonna look even like that. It was just the way that it was filtered. But
yeah.
the view, even it was what? It was spring and there was still a really great, pretty view
Mhm.
from that terrace or whatever patio. Like
Mhm.
it was really, really amazing.
Mhm.
Like the whole thing, it was huge. Everybody had their own little space, and you didn't necessarily need our own little space. Hell, it was so we all could have slept in one room for real. Would have been okay.
Yep.
Like uh, the kitchen was fully stocked with everything that we needed outside of, the food. We bring our own
Right.
food, but it
Right.
had a fully functioning kitchen,
Mhm.
couple of different types of coffee makers, a waffle maker. Like it just had everything in there. Like you didn't need to leave. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to just chill. We wanted to do something where we
Mhm.
were not ripping and running. We didn't have to think too much about it. We just wanted to relax and chill. And that's what we did. We watched TV, we played games, we,
Mhm.
danced around, we
We
cry
sure did
together.
do Just Dance or whatever it was
Yep,
called.
yep. I mean, like we had such a great time. It was
Mhm.
amazing.
And I led my first spades workshop.
Man, that shit was so funny,
That
bro.
was a that was a highlight for me
It was
because
so funny.
why was I so and when I even when I watched back the video of when I was teaching Jay, or not like teaching her because she knows how to do throw darts, but for some reason everything needed to be a lesson where I felt
Right.
I needed to teach and be so serious. And I'm like, why was I that serious about them darts
So serious.
or about everything? Like, why was I so serious? But
So
yeah,
serious.
it was so dope, so dope,
Yeah,
so
it
dope.
was. It was such a good time. Like
Mhm.
again, I don't know why. Like I'm the only person that has not really posted any pictures.
You
And I don't know
barely be
why.
on Instagram, so I
That's
just thought it
probably
was
why. But it's just
yeah.
like I look at them though. Like I look at them all the time and just be laughing. Like man, with the video with the mat when we put the mask on.
When y'all put the mask on
Oh yeah, your
because
ass was asleep at the table. Right. But that video looking back when we had
woo!
the mask on, man, it was so funny. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing. I really appreciate y'all for being like, all right, Autumn, yeah, we can go to the cabin. That's cool. We can do that.
I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm the type of person where we could just do that every like
I
annual
am
that and
too.
I would be
We could just get a different cabin each time.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I am not somebody that like I like traveling, but also I'm not somebody where if it would have been like, "Oh, we're going here, there," I'd have been like, I mean, I would have went because,
Right.
but I also would have been like, "Bruh," like
Like
I
we
just,
can literally treat it as a cabin retreat, a
mhm,
yearly because we always all go and do other things, you know what I mean? But like
mhm,
this thing can be our annual girls, getaway cabin retreat. And it could just
mhm,
be so amazing every time. And we could just do a different cabin. We don't even have to do North Georgia. We could do Tennessee. We could do, you know what I'm saying? Like any of these places. And actually, what I found out is there's some that are even closer to me than I thought. Like
mm,
there's like these like, and I hate the word plants, but that's still all of these plantations that are like resorts, and
mm,
they have these types of very beautiful like cabins and houses and stuff like that that you can rent out. Like literally, I told y'all I live like 10 minutes from Boosie, like
mhm,
down by where he lives, because has this ignorant man. Like it's so ignorant. Like it's so super big. Like I've never seen anything like it in my life. But I mean, there's a lot of them around Atlanta, but it's just crazy. But around like down where he lives, like there's just these places that you can just rent out. Like it probably
mm.
costs a little bit more than what the cabin did, but there's so many options is basically what I'm saying that we can do for that type of like a cabin, something that we don't have to leave the place.
Because that's what like I was glad when we decided not to go to the winery or whatever we were supposed to go because it's kind of like we can entertain ourselves honestly like we really don't need really anything because
And I
they
think we could have did it, but I think it would have been better had we not had to go back and make the second trip
yeah
back
yeah
home. Like we
yeah
would have all been rested and we would have been able to, enjoy it better. So I think we made a good choice in not
hmm
going and just enjoying each other right then and there because we was cool. We
yeah
kicked back. We was cool.
yeah so I mean that's these are my thoughts and as y'all listen and y'all hear the episode yeah that I'm with it with an annual just a retreat like just chill, just,
Same.
and I mean, even if, I mean, we don't have to go back to the same place, but it was that dope that even if we went to the
Mm,
same place
yep.
every year, now that we know the right way to get there, where we're
True.
not going to almost die, You know
True.
what I'm saying? On the way there. So now that we know
We know where
that,
the Walmart is. We know where all
no,
the stuff is
exactly.
now.
So
We
like,
know exactly what to do
mhm,
next time. You're right. You're absolutely right.
yeah. So
Now,
like,
also just know that because when we were driving up, there's plenty of cabins up there. I'm good with going back to the same place too, by the way. But just in case anybody is not, like
yeah.
all the way up, when we went in that gate, it was probably about like 6 or 7 other cabins going up that way. So either way it go, we could pick any of the ones that's up that way.
Hmm. Yeah, what I loved about where we were though was the view. I am such a fan of, like, the view was,
It
my
was
gosh. It
breathtaking.
literally was, because we were like on the top of the mountain, not the top, but dang near close enough to the
Yep,
top.
close enough.
And just when you go out, it's just on the upper and lower patio deck, whatever, you could still see, like, there was still a view, like, that's how
Mhm.
high up we were. And yeah, it was just I
I
and it
mean,
was,
it was just
yeah.
it was so perfect.
Mhm.
Like, just even from like, now we know, like, about the little starter logs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could get starter logs from the place, and they'll bring up more wood for us. Like, we got like, all of this stuff now we have under control. We've
Mhm.
done it, so the next time is going to be, like, even more perfect than it was. Like, we know
Right.
what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, it's easy access getting there, like, you know what I mean? It's, what was it, an hour and a half ride or whatever
Mhm.
from the house. Like, it was just cool.
Yep, yep, yep. All right, y'all. It's about that time. Before we get up out of here, yes, we are still doing Hit It.
Mm.
Give them a little background on what it is in case they've never heard of it.
I don't know how I came up with the Shut the Fuck Up award, but what it is an opportunity for me and my guests on my show to tell anybody, any one person, any two people, any organization, any nationality unless they're black, any any like anybody, anything, to shut the fuck up. A movement, a government entity, a job, whoever you want to tell to shut the fuck up, this is your chance to tell them to shut the fuck up.
All right, y'all. And this is, it's kind of like my normal, like, I saw a tweet, I guess, would be the
Mhm.
equivalent
Mhm.
of hers, except I don't do the whole shut the fuck up thing because that's not my thing, you know what I'm saying? But whenever she's on, that is when I'm going to do it, because I'm gonna have her on and not do what she do, you know what I'm saying? And this may ruffle some feathers, but I don't really care. So, unless you're under a rock, and I want y'all to hear me out where I'm coming from with this also. But unless you've been under a rock, you probably have seen on Twitter. I've even seen it quickly on Facebook, and stuff don't usually get to Facebook same day.
Right.
That's how serious
Ah.
folks are. I've seen it on TikTok, I've seen it on Instagram. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, Juneteenth is coming up, right?
Oh God.
And oh yes, but hear me out where I'm going. So last year it became a federal holiday. So now it is a holiday that we all get off of work. If your company, some people got it off last year. We didn't get it off last year because it was too quick turnaround at my job. But it's a federal holiday though, so the companies that recognize federal holidays, because not all do, you get it off. It's a paid holiday at my previous place of employment. Um, and with that, here come the corporations. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it is a federal holiday, just like Christmas, just like Easter. I won't say Halloween is a federal holiday, but it is a holiday, just like Valentine's Day, just like Cinco de Mayo, either, right?
Right,
Even,
right,
right?
right.
Okay. So I've seen two tweets that I think will sum up where I'm going with this, because one of the tweets says Juneteenth was better when only Black people knew about it. And then the second tweet, and this is the part that I'm really gonna go in on, is who told corporations we wanted Juneteenth merch from them? And the big thing that people have been upset about is this Juneteenth ice cream that Walmart, Great Value, which you know what I'm saying, it's they stuff be good, you
They
know what I'm
should be
saying?
bussing.
You know, I ain't gonna act like
I'm with it.
I get Great Value stuff. I was just talking to, I think, one of my kids about that, where I was like, I usually would, no, my mom, because she asked me what something was, and I was like, no, that was Great Value. Like, I don't
Right,
just get, you know, you have your certain things where it gotta be name brand, but not everything.
right, 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 right.
And then I've seen paper plates, banners, napkins, shirts. Although I was seeing stuff like that before,
Right.
it's just now you're seeing it more because it's a federal holiday.
Hmm.
A
And I didn't
federal,
like it. I didn't like it when I seen it before. Like I don't like buying that stuff from like when I go in places like you'll see it at Walmart, like the Black Lives Matter stuff
mhm,
and stuff like that. And I don't like it. It's tacky, and I just don't want to buy it from there.
gotcha. So here's my thoughts. And maybe shut the fuck up is aggressive because
No, it's
I
perfect.
see both sides, but it's really not, because this is only to a specific group of people. As always, it's never to everybody. It's
Right.
only to a
Absolutely.
certain sector of whatever.
Right.
So my thing is, if you are not Hispanic but you were on Twitter saying, "What is your Mexican name for Cinco de Mayo?"
I feel
but
you.
you're mad about Juneteenth merchandise. Mm, it's the
Yeah.
hypocrisy for me, because how are you, even if Cinco de Mayo isn't really Mexican Independence Day, it's observed, just
Mhm.
like Juneteenth is going to be observed on
Mhm.
different days,
Mhm.
just like Christmas. For Christians, Christmas is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
we all know that that isn't the day that Jesus was born. Even
Right.
we know that.
Right. 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 Right.
We
We know
know
that.
that. We
There's
don't say
no
that,
argument that. Right.
but it's the day that his birth is celebrated. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if you buy Christmas decorations, let's even go there, but you're an atheist. No shade to you as an atheist, but my whole point is, how do you pick and choose? Oh, but then you're also mad about the Juneteenth because it's supposed to be so
For Black
sacred.
people only.
To who? Because the thing about it is, once it becomes a federal holiday, a corporation would be foolish, honestly. Now, think about it from a business perspective,
I get
to
what you're
not
saying.
try to cash in on that. Now, the
Mhm.
people who don't fit into any of the groups I just said, where you'll celebrate this, or do you get a 4th of July outfit? Because which one are you gonna choose? Because you were saying that wasn't really for us, and
Right.
this is
Right.
supposed
Right.
to be for us, but you had the red, white, and blue outfit with the flags. Because I didn't seen y'all. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep. Recently.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Even after Juneteenth was finally recognized.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, if y'all gonna be mad, because this fake social media anger.
That's all it is, girl. That's
Come on
all it is.
now.
It's just all to be heard and to be seen. That's all. It's a lot of people that pop off. A lot of people on social media, what I've realized, they say stuff that they don't even mean. Like they're just
Mm-hmm.
saying stuff just to be saying it. I know my position. I'm funny about stuff like that anyway. I've never liked any of it. Like I've never liked any of the in store like Black Lives Matter stuff. And it didn't have anything to do with the company that was selling it per se. It was just I just didn't like it. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it did have to do with the company. I don't know. Because again, I've seen it at Walmart. I've seen them even at City Trends. Like
Mm.
maybe it's the quality of it. I mean, but it's City Trends, right? Like, what am
It
I gonna
could
get out
be
of there?
not knowing where the money goes to.
That it could
Like,
be that
I
because
get
the stuff
that.
that I have bought, like I have like maybe 3 Black Lives Matters t-shirts of some sorts and another like whatever black I know who I got them from. Like I got them all from black people. Like I know
Mhm.
who and where they came from. And
Right.
my whole thing is this like this big old uproar, but your friends and families have been pushing these t-shirts and all this stuff for a long time. So what are you even upset about? Just buy it from them.
Yeah. And that's the thing where it's like you get into people saying, "Don't do this." How you gonna tell me what how
How to spend my
now
money.
I'm gonna keep it real. If it was a flavor that I liked, I might try it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Just because if I was the kind of person, because I'm not one of those 4th of July fit, like I'm the only time I really pop off is Christmas, and not even because it has anything to do with Jesus, but I just love the
Right.
decorations
Right,
and the
right.
vibe. Like, and y'all saw how drug out I would be inside my house, not even
Right.
outside. So, like, that's the only holiday that I really get all into it. And we had the ugly sweater thing on podcast happy hour that one year, and I get into stuff like that. But if I was the kind of person who got into stuff like that, I'll wear a Juneteenth outfit. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just like cuz then some of the stuff say like it's the freedom for me or
See, we wasn't because I
I
wasn't
think
trying
that
to
it was
get into
I
that
know, but I
side
think
of
it was
things.
that part of it. Like that like here's my thing. If you're going to do it, just do it.
Hmm.
You don't have to be extra. You don't have to be tacky about it. It doesn't have to be tacky. Like you could do these things with tack. Like you could do a regular old T-shirt that black T-shirt with red, black, and green letters that say
Juneteenth,
Juneteenth. What's wrong with doing that?
they be trying. I see, and I
It's
wasn't.
just like St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, all these other things where you
Hmm.
have themed T-shirts and colors and I'm good with stuff like that. Just plain old. It could just be plain old, Pan African flag colors, some sort of something, a beanie or something, a bag, something. It could be so. But all of this extra, trying to say the different phrases and stuff that we say. We know
And
ain't
then
no
don't
niggas
even use
behind
it
that,
correctly
right?
ever. Anytime
Ever.
you see it, it's
Like, why would
always
I
out
go?
of
Why am I
pocket.
at the cookout and I'm going to get a plate so that I could be like, oh, it's the freedom for me? Excuse me, it is the escape through the Underground Railroad for me. Who's doing that?
And that's part two of this. This is why this is the way I'm going to end the show, because you know that's part two of this. So had to get part one out of the way because I feel like there's some hypocrisy in that, especially when I just saw earlier this month, Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May, leading up to it. What's your Mexican name tomorrow?
That's so ignorant.
Knowing
Why are people
if
doing that?
they said, "What's your black name tomorrow?" If
Right, we
anybody
would be
said
hitting the
that,
fan.
the
Right,
same people that tweeted that would be mad. So
right.
I'm not
So
saying you
stupid and ignorant.
shouldn't be angry about this. I never said that. So there's
Mhm.
that's why I wanted to specify. But how can you be angry about this and not see the appropriation? Because that's what you're saying in
Right.
what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Now these corporations, if any of the marketing team somehow catches wind of this episode, y'all, because I know ain't no way. I know I would be the one if I was in the marketing department of Walmart or whoever made them napkins, and they were like, "Ooh, we want to do Juneteenth, and we're going to put it's the freedom for me." I would be the black person that would be like, "Don't do that.
Like,
Nobody is
why would
gonna
you
say
like,
that.
it's the
That's not
freedom
gonna
for who
make sense."
exactly?
Right.
Who is it the
No,
freedom
that
for?
you're using that incorrectly. If you want to, um prime example, everybody knows I have, well, everybody who knows Melon Intoxicate is my brand that my brand. So
Right.
there's apparel, there's different stuff, whatever. And it started off with just a man and a woman, and the tagline is "So dope they get high." And then when I decided to add a boy and a girl, if you notice, I don't ever have "So dope they get high" on any of the kids' stuff because that just seems super inappropriate. Because even there are people that, yes, it's a play on words, "So dope they get high,"
Right,
but there are
right.
some people that have told me, man, I want to get that, but I can't because
It
okay, I
seems
respect
right,
it.
right, right, right.
So then that's
Right.
why I came out with the epitome of black girl magic, the epitome of black boy joy. But if you look at the little kids, and if you look at anything that I put out there with little kids, none of the little kids stuff say "So dope they get high." The memes that I create, because I create content for the brand every day, the inspirational memes that have the kids on them, it's never
Mhm.
nothing that's like too
It's
grown. It's
levels to it.
yeah, but let me tell y'all how I did some market research with my nieces. My nieces are the ones who gave me the okay on "I am loved" on the little kid shirt because I had to get inside the mind of a child, me as a black woman. So the brand is celebrating black people, but I'm not a child. So if I
Right.
wanted to get inside the mind of a child, I did market research with my nieces, and I was like, "Hey," and they're of different ages. Now, the baby is like about to be 4, so she really was just kind of there on that conversation.
Mhm,
She really
mhm.
had no input or whatever. But the older 3 are 12. I always mess their ages up. I want to say 7 and 6. I never. They know. I don't
Right,
never
they
know how
know.
old. They know
Right.
what it is. So I asked them, "Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And what do you think of this?" And I said, "If you don't like it, tell me because then I won't use it because obviously kids are not going to register that." So I threw
Mhm.
out different phrases as I just happened to be taking them to school that day. I was like, "Ooh, perfect. Y'all going y'all going to work for."
Right, work for this
Not
ride.
not really, but I jokingly said that to their mom. And they're the ones that were like, "Yes, I am," because all little kids want to be loved.
Mhm.
Now, if I put out "So dope they get high" on a kid's shirt, what?
Yeah,
That
that
looks
don't
like
make
I'm
sense.
promoting drug use because kids are not going to make that connection
They're
that
not gonna get the wordplay.
exactly. So, my point of that whole story is that as a business owner and you are trying to market and establish your brand, trying new things, trying to hop on trends or holidays or whatever, if you're going to hop on a trend or a holiday or market to a specific population of people, you need to do some market research or you need to have a representative of that population of people on your marketing team to tell you that is not a good idea because yes, it's
And
the
why don't they
freedom.
know this?
And I don't understand how they don't know this because I've only been a business owner for 9 months and it was just, but here's the thing, and I saw somebody on LinkedIn said this. It's one thing to know business, but if you don't know people, as a business owner, you have a problem. And I know
Yep.
people. My degree is in psychology, and my favorite part of that was studying the behavior patterns of people. So I think that's why, to me, it made sense to get
Mhm.
inside the mind of the people I'm trying to, they call it market research, the business term, but really it's just common sense to me. Like, why would I have some grown stuff on something that's supposed to be to a
It's very much
kid?
so common sense.
I don't understand how these $1 billion, $1 trillion, whatever corporations, like, it, either y'all
Like, do
don't
you like?
know.
Is this what you? It's what it is. It's offensive because if you think that
Yeah.
we are at, let's just even say, let's just be dramatic about it and say that we're at, I'm gonna use my old church, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, Juneteenth celebration, and we're out there and we're cooking out and the kids are playing, and we got good gospel music going on and everybody's having a good time. And when we're all getting up to stand in line, do you think that we're high-fiving and saying it's the freedom for me? Pastor, it's the freedom for me.
Y'all need to
Sister
learn how to
Gabriel,
confess
Sister Gabriel,
praise.
it is the freedom for me.
Like,
Lord, thank you, Lord. It's the freedom for me. Do you
that's
think
not,
that that's what's happening? It's
and
a
it's
smack
like,
in the face.
y'all got to understand how, because y'all just hear stuff and see stuff and think it sounds good or whatever. Okay, I get it. They're slang. It's all these things. It's ever evolving, I guess. But you got to use it in the right context.
You
I
have to.
don't say everything at all, because some stuff, if it just sounds stupid, I'm not saying it. But if I
Right.
don't understand context, now a lot of times after you keep seeing someone use something, you'll figure it out. But like pushing P, for example, except for when I'm being stupid and joking around, mainly with Jews, I'm never going to say that for real, because I don't
Right.
really fully understand what it
Understand what the
means.
hell it mean,
And
right?
it just doesn't sound like something I need to be
It don't
saying. You know
sound
what I'm
sweet.
saying?
It really don't sound sweet at all.
You know what I'm saying? So there's like, not everything is for everybody, and that's okay. But when I am trying to, like, oh, I like that, because I gotta actually like it, and then when I like it, I don't use it right away. It has to like naturally become a part of who I am. Because like for me, I couldn't stand for me at first, and now
Mhm.
I'll use it when it is whatever for me, when I'm explaining what it is I feel about whatever. But I don't just say it just to say it. It's really like, no, it's this for me that usually pissed me off or made me laugh. Like there's a strong emotion
Right.
tied to it.
Something tied to it, yeah.
The
I
free,
used to didn't like period. And the only reason why I
that
didn't like
too.
it, the only reason why I didn't like it is because it had already been done.
Mm.
We've been saying this.
Mhm.
We've been saying this forever. And then like here come a whole nother generation thinking they done
Mhm.
made some shit up. And
They
we've
really
been
be thinking
saying
they done.
it be stuff like that be pissing me off. Like
Mhm.
that's what that I don't- that but then after a while I just be like, all right, like okay, I just embrace it because it was something that was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like period with the T. You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah. Now, period poo, no.
No,
That
absolutely
no,
not.
no. I'm not doing all that.
Absolutely
But
not.
let's reel it
I
back
get it.
though. Marketing team, people who may happen to come across this. I might do hashtag Walmart in my promotion, just so y'all
Uh-huh.
might try to figure out what I was talking about y'all for.
Do
Like y'all
better.
gotta do better, because I even saw it like the award show when they were the social, whoever runs, I can't remember, was it the Met Gala? And Kev on stage did a video on it where like they were trying to say for me, like it's whatever for me, but
For me, it's
it
the
just
what for
it
me.
just
Yeah.
literally, it's the way he had them at all for me, or something stupid where it's like you
It
don't
don't make
say all
sense.
that. Like, and if you there are people who, if you ask them questions, they will answer. Like, I am one of them people that, if it seems like I don't know, I must seem friendly, or I don't know, but like, people feel like they can ask me questions, and I'm not even talking about white people, black people, although that too, but I'm saying just in general, like, hey, how did you do this? I get that a lot in the podcast community. What do you use for this? What do you use to do this? Ask questions. Stop acting like you know it all when you don't, especially when you didn't
Right.
create it. Do your research. Nobody said you couldn't use it, but why? Well, I'm sure there probably was somebody that said you couldn't use it, but that's not what I'm saying, because I
Right.
understand that slang is, it just is what it is. And I get the whole we can't have anything, but at the same time, it's not like we don't embrace other people's cultures too. So I'm never one to say we can't have anything, but I also understand the argument behind that. So, like, that's not what this is about. My point
Right.
is,
I get what you're saying.
if you're going to use it, why people have so much to say about it is because you don't use it correctly, and you look really foolish talking about some
Mhm.
it's the freedom for me, like you really
It's
think.
like you're mocking us,
Exactly. And if
and
that's
that
what
shit
you're
ain't cool.
doing, that's a whole
Yeah,
nother,
and that's what it
because
feels like.
yeah, because this whole all promotion is good promotion. No, it's I'm never subscribed to that. Like,
That,
I
and I
don't
mean,
want to
that's
be the
literally
main
what it feels
character
like
on
when I really
Twitter.
think about
No
it.
foolishness. I don't even know if I want to be the main character on Twitter ever, because it just, all them notifications would give me a panic
Girl,
attack. But
same.
yeah. So that is my award, guys. My awards to both sides of y'all in this whole thing, because I see it. If something hits Facebook day of, you know it's serious, because Facebook
Mhm.
is usually behind where I saw it, and then 3 days later I hop on Facebook and I see them with a screenshot of the tweet that I saw
Right.
in real time.
Right. When it happened.
But nah, this hit the Facebook streets the same day that it hit the Twitter streets. You know it's serious, is what I'm saying, y'all. So you got to do better. That's all. So it's come from a place of education. Like, do
Do
better if
better,
you're going.
man.
And you got until it's too
You
late
got
this
y'all got the money
year.
to do it. Y'all got the money
That that.
to get the best black marketing
Hmm.
contributors for your team. Y'all
Hmm.
got it. So what's the problem? Are y'all not listening to them? Do y'all have them and you're not listening to them?
And
What's
it's too
going
late
on?
for this year, but Juneteenth is here to stay. I know it's
Here to
new for
stay.
y'all,
Yeah.
but it's like it's gonna be every year. So, like, now, do
This
better
was your
next
dry
year.
run. This was your
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
run. Get it better
You
next year.
failed. You failed. Like, because I don't, I feel like I don't even feel like, oh well, at least they had stuff. That's probably how y'all feel. Nah, because it's not like, I mean, we've gone without y'all doing anything for all this time. So now
Right.
that you want to pop out, like, pop out right, or don't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? Just like Autumn said, she feel like she has to be a perfectionist to do her coffee mug of the day. I'm not saying you necessarily have to be a perfectionist, but you at least gotta wanna be trying to do it
You want to
right,
do
and
it
act like
right.
you
Right.
care, and act like it matters, because that, yeah, that. Ugh. So yeah, guys, that is my
I
award.
got one and
I
I'm
was
gonna
about
make
to
it
ask
quick.
if you got one. No, you
I'm
good.
I'm gonna try to make it quick because if I go off into it, I'm gonna go off into it, and it might be a little bit surprising, coming from me. But again, another tidbit of information. If you have not been living under a rock, and you've been on social media, there are pictures of Jamie Foxx and his new bae,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yes. So,
Okay.
Jamie, you ain't seen it. Ugh. Like,
Mm-mm.
so Twitter has been in an uproar
Let me go
because
ahead and search Twitter.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Just put Jamie Foxx in.
Oh, he pops
Twitter,
right on up.
yeah, there has been an uproar because Jamie Foxx has been spotted with his new bae, who is another Snow White. And I don't understand what the issue is, honestly.
He was with
Because
Katie Holmes. Apparently, he
right,
likes
but
white
but the,
girls.
and it, exactly, and here's my thing about Jamie Foxx. I say all the time that I do not care. Y'all know I be on my pro black, I be on my, blackity black ass, black all the time. I I don't, and I say it, and we see a lot of people also on social media who say it. And again, I feel like some people just be talking just to be talking sometimes. But like I say all the time, I don't care who anybody, whatever anyone's preference is. I don't.
Mhm.
It's when they drag black women and and say this is why I choose a
Yeah,
white woman.
yeah.
That's when, and when they be loud and wrong and nobody asks him, like RG3, like he's forever getting on social media talking about his white wife that
Mhm.
nobody cares about, like, this is why, and nobody cares, bro. Have
Right.
your white wife and go on about your day. You don't have to say anything about black women. You don't have to my knowledge, I say all that to say, to my knowledge, I've never seen Jamie Foxx be that person.
Mm-mm.
He's been with his white women, and apparently he's been happy with it. He's still been bringing us great, content, movies. He's still a great actor. He still can sing. He's still a hell of a comedian. And honestly, Jamie Foxx, as far as we know, has done nothing wrong. And he has always, uplifted the black community. Like he's
Mhm.
done his due. I don't. He's just one of those guys that, I mean, if that's what he like, that's what the fuck he like. What are we upset about? What
And
is
I
the
don't think I've
issue?
heard him bash anybody, like, not, like,
Ever.
ever, like, I've never, and I could be wrong, but I don't remember in any of his
Nope.
career hearing about him bashing
Nope.
anyone.
Nope.
Like,
And should anything like that ever come out, I would be extremely surprised. Like I wouldn't it
mhm,
would be very hard for me to believe. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's just like, why I do think that there are people who are just upset when black men choose to date outside of black women. And to an extent, I get it, but it's overkill, y'all. Let
mhm,
let them I don't want to be with a black man that doesn't want to be with a black woman. You feel where I'm coming from? I don't
mhm,
even want that. So why am I paying attention to what to someone's preference that's not me?
right,
Have it, do what you will. It's just like, the skinny versus the big girls. It's all of that stuff. Why I'm not going to pay attention to anybody whose preference is not specifically brown skin, nappy hair, and chunky. Like you gotta like all that stuff. Cause none of that is ever gonna change. You feel me? Like none of that is ever gonna change. So, I'm not gonna pay attention. I'm not his type. So why do I even care who he's dating, whether she was black or white or whatever? Why do y'all care so much? Why is this such a big deal? And now some people were just really just making jokes about it, and the jokes were funny because you know what? Everybody gonna get these jokes on social media.
mhm,
The jokes
mhm.
were funny, but for people who are really like pissed off about this, what do you care? What do you care?
I didn't know. I
Real change comes when you focus on yourself, and we close the show out just like that.
mm,
Focus on you, bruh. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
there you go, folks. Mind your business. Mind your business. Worry about you. And that's a great way
And shut the
segue
fuck
to,
up on the
yeah,
way out.
that too, that too. So that's a great segue to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and that's part of that. Why are you worried about what other people are doing? Like,
Wasting too much time on everything that you cannot change, that because it has absolutely nothing to do with you. You wasting all
mhm.
this energy, and for what? This man ain't did nothing to you. That lady either,
And
to
he
be
don't
honest.
could care less about what you talking about also.
And if it backfires and she ends up being some sort of devil, then it is what it is. That's on
Yeah,
him too. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
exactly. But you know what they gonna say if something happen, that's what he get, messing
Yeah.
around with them white girls.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I might say it too. I'm not gonna lie. But for the moment, I don't care. Like, even then, if
Right.
it was to happen, and I would say it so quick and just it be out. You
And
know what I'm
that's
saying?
one of those jokes though that I mean, it's like you said, the jokes are going we're all gonna be on the other side of a joke. I have
The
been
joke's gonna fly.
even with my own children that I carried for 9 months and kept them here. I didn't get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? And Kayliana said the wildest joke. She has the wildest sense of humor. Like y'all think, nah, I ain't. Man, the
The
jokes
joke's
is
gonna
going
joke, bro.
joke.
It
You
just
know what
is
I'm
what
saying?
you have to like this day and age. You have to have some sort of a little bit of a thick skin because the
Mm-hmm.
jokes are gonna fly all the time.
Yep.
Which is also why you shouldn't really give a damn about what anybody is going to say, because somebody is going to have something to say about you. You can think
Exactly.
that you are the most perfect person
Mm-hmm.
from head to toe, and somebody is going to find something. Look at who was that? Was that and I can't even stand these folks, but who was, I think it was Kim Kardashian when she was pregnant and they showed her feet,
I didn't know
and
about
you're
that.
just like, wow, like ill, like you know what I'm saying? It's everybody's gonna have. There's always gonna be something. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So like, mind your business
Mm-hmm.
and focus on you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make the world a better place.
Yep. And you'll be happier because you'll be too busy focusing on what you're supposed to do, what your purpose is, what
Yep.
makes you happy, what brings you joy. Like focus on that. And
Yep.
maybe that's why I missed whatever yesterday because I wasn't really on Twitter because I was busy focusing on the things that I had to
Right.
focus on to achieve my dreams, or there are days sometimes where I'm just like, you know what? I rather pay attention to the people that are right here than pay
Hmm.
attention to what's going on out. Like have those days, have
Yep.
those moments, have that mindset because man, life is hard, you know what I'm saying? And if you so busy, you got
Worrying
yeah,
about everything else and
yeah,
everybody
you
else,
just gonna
like you'll
stay
never be able to
miserable.
enjoy the little bit of time
Exactly.
that you have. And
Exactly.
you'll be sitting back wondering like where time went, or why you haven't achieved the goals that you wanted to achieve,
Mm.
and it's because you're too busy up in everybody else's shit.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So what? Let that man be happy with his white girl.
Mhm.
You're not his type.
And that's okay. And you probably didn't want him anyway. And that's what really kills me when it be, and even if it what now, I am very much the type of person, as y'all know, that if I have a celebrity crush on somebody
I
and
get it.
then they get a relationship and they have the audacity to post their significant other on social media when they should have just hid her from the world or hid the world from her or whatever Drake said. I'm gonna be salty, but it ain't because I'm not gonna call her ugly. I'm not
Right.
like that
Right. You ain't
because
gonna bash her,
she's
right?
actually really beautiful,
She is pretty.
amazing body too. But I am gonna say I don't want to see that, and I'm never gonna watch your show again. Am I really not gonna watch it? No, but I'm going to be fake mad about it because how dare
Right.
you post your girlfriend? I guess now baby mama, so now it's forever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Damn.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
sorry,
mad about
dog.
that, but it's not gonna be me be mad because I mean she's a black. I mean I don't know. I just y'all. I don't even know. People be worried
It's
about the
gonna be
wrong
all right.
stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, there we have it. But before we get out of here, Autumn is going to tell y'all where you can find her. She's gonna tell you about her show in case you're new. Because if you're not new, like, you should already know. To where like you could leave now because you already know.
Right, but stay. So,
Right.
anyways, my name is Autumn the Aries. This is Peach. If you're watching, who's been getting on my very last nerve this past 30 minutes, hollering in the background. And I am the host of the Lit Life podcast, where I encourage you to live your life autonomously. You can go to litlifepodcast.com. When you get there, you click on the episodes tab. All of my episodes are there. Now I gotta put her down. All of my episodes are there. I'm coming up on numbered episode 100, but I have way more episodes than that. So I guess that's exciting. Actually, I've been podcasting 3 years. I didn't even say nothing about that, but I guess at some point I'll mention that maybe on the next episode. And you can find me on Twitter at Autumn the Aries. You can find me on Instagram at Autumn the Aries, and at Lit Life Podcast. If you just put in the search Lit Life Podcast on YouTube, you can find me there. But all of this stuff you can find on litlifepodcast.com. And you can find me on Tagged at Autumn the Aries. My name right now is Autumn the Aries. It might change, but you'll be able to find me.
Oh, really? It might change.
It was Pretty Aries Chick before that. But everybody on there's name got Pretty in their name. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just go with Autumn the Aries.
Okay. And if you're here because of Autumn and not because you're a regular of the show, new episodes drop every Thursday. I usually talk about my life and the ways I'm trying to grow. Then I have a bunch of bonus episodes. So I have well over the numbered amount that you guys see on whatever. Let's see what else. We're going to be having a live PenTamZ coming up at some point, probably July though. At some point we'll have another podcast happy hour.
maybe we'll do it for Juneteenth.
Okay. Yep. Because either way, it's me, Chris, and Jay's birthday that month. So like, it's gonna be for something. Do it up. Yeah, so we will. You'll hear about that when you hear about it. I guess that's it. So get some Melanin Intoxicate. I'm gonna have some new designs dropping next month to celebrate. I mean, I guess my half birthday of the brand, but also that's my birthday month. So stay on the lookout for that. I'll also do a sale. I haven't done a sale in a while, but I'll do a sale. And I guess that is it. So thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Peace.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for